Hello, my Gemini lovelies. Welcome to Lanmou Tarot. And for those of you that are old friends, welcome back. This is your general reading for the second half of April 2019 for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising Stars. Thank you so much for your continued support, Gemini. Doing a little bit more shuffling on camera, as usual. Spirit, what message guidance do you have for our Gemini friends? Message guidance for our Gemini friends, or whoever happens to be watching this reading. Message and guidance. All right, Gemini, here we go. Oh, we gotta look. Page of Wands, putting it back, but he wanted to be seen. Okay, Gemini. Some of you may be turning, going on a different path, setting off on a different path. Okay, we have the Eight of Water, Eight of Cups. Like I said, moving away, right? And for some of you, it's going to be an emotional thing, decision. That departure is going to be based on an emotional decision. We have the Nine of Wands, Seven of Swords, Ace of Wands, King of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles. And at the bottom here, we have Six of Swords, more moving away. Gemini, definitely some of you are on the move here, okay, during this time. That second, where are we on? Yeah, second half of April. We had the Page of Wands, and the feeling I got with that Page of Wands was in a new beginning. But the way he was leaving, there are people behind him. It seems like he was setting on, like, he just said goodbye to his family, and is setting on a journey, quite in a very somber mood. And the first card we pulled out for you, that was just a jumper, the Page of Wands. But the first card that comes out is the Nine of, I'm sorry, I don't know why I say nine. It's the Eight of Cups, okay? And there's a full moon there in that Eight of Cups, and we have a full moon coming up during that second half of April, full moon in Libra, right? So there is a sense here, we have two cups that are spilled. Two cups are knocked over, and that is of, let me pull this so you guys can see the imagery very well. So this is the after tarot we're using for as the main deck, okay? In the regular tarot, we don't see that lady. That's basically investigating, inspecting the cups. All we see is that gentleman in red that you can see in the background here leaving. That's what we see in the after tarot. Now, I mean in the regular tarot, but in the after tarot, after that departure, here comes the lady who's inspecting what happened here. Why did he leave those cups? Why wasn't he satisfied with all those cups? Why was it necessary for him to go? Because remember, those cups are piled up, right? In the regular tarot, they're like on top of each other. Those three cups on top of the five cups at the base. So it's as if after she's looked at the cups, she just tossed them to the ground. It's like, there's nothing in there in those two cups for me either. Next. So she's in the middle of inspecting that third cup, but he's already gone. So this is what I see here, Gemini. There was a situation, okay, where you felt like either, and it goes vice versa. This is a general reading. If you felt like, whether you felt like you're being taken for granted, and this is an emotional situation I'm getting here, but it may not be for some of you. We have the Knight of Pentacles here. Whether it's a work situation or an emotional situation or just a family situation, or it could just be like a relationship among friends where you felt like you were not appreciated, or you were taken for granted, or whatever it is, that environment, that scenery became not even so much that it was toxic, it just wasn't doing it for you anymore. It was no longer in alignment with you or what you want to do, where you want to go, that new you, that journey you want to, that new way of seeing the world, of seeing that new sense of perspective that you've stepped into. You realize that was no longer doing it for you. Yes, there were a lot of cups, there was a lot of emotions there already, and we know the eights are potential. This is with potential, works in progress. But for you, you knew it was time for you to go with that Eight of Cups. It wasn't emotionally, intuitively, because we have that full moon in that cup. You know you had to go and follow your passion. You're in that red cape here, red action, red passion, and you had to go. Okay, so now what's left behind is all those cups, all these things that were looking so shiny perhaps to other people on the outside, but for you, you knew wasn't enough. And then there perhaps those people that took you for granted, now they're looking at the situation. They're trying to inspect. They're trying to really understand what happened here. Okay, what did we go wrong? How did we lose Gemini? How did we lose such a great friend? How did we lose such a great worker, such a great employee, such a great lover? Okay, I thought everything was going right. At Seven of Cups, I assessed the situation. Everything seemed right. We had great potential to go to the Eighth Cups, but he's gone. He's leaving. So what happened here? So while you set up on your journey, going to you on your way, you've already moved, you moving, you going. There is whatever was left behind is being assessed now. Wherever it is that was taken for granted, and again it goes vice versa. If it's you was taking someone else for granted, was taking the job for granted, and there was a separation, there was a departure, then you were let go, whether in a romantic situation or it's a work situation. Just know that now you're in a phase of reflection, of trying to understand what happened here. Okay, why was this not satisfying any longer for Gemini or for that person? So at the bottom here, we have the Ace of Wands. So there is, and again, this is why I say you're on your way, moving towards, like with passion, towards a new beginning. You are seeking something new. You want something new, Gemini. You're like on your way, whether it's you or if you're dealing with a fire sign, because it is the Page of Wands as the first card that jumped out while we're shuffling. They want something new. They want a new beginning. Okay, they want action, because the aces deals with like an offer, but it requires action on our part as well to accept that offer or not. Especially the Ace of Wands, this is like the life force. It's activation. Okay, life force activation. This is like a wheel spark or action is required, and it seems like that's what you've done. You've taken that action, right? Your red cape, you're on your way. And if it's someone else you're dealing with, then they're taking action. They're leaving you behind, Gemini. They're on their way, because what they want is something fresh, new beginning. We have new growth on that one here. This is a toad. There's a sense of transformation here. Okay, the toad is about to grow into something bigger, like you, right? There's a sense of metamorphosis here. Okay, so there is something more that you're seeking, something new, and you are on your way. Especially we have this full moon, another full moon in Libra coming up in April. That might be the time where that departure happens, because we see he's literally aligned, that the guy in the red cape literally aligned right there with that full moon as he's going on his way. So the next card we have is that Nine of Wands. The nines are completion. There's a sense of completion, and especially that Nine of Wands, there's a real sense of I've done everything I had to do. It's quite intense, right? Nine's also intensity. The build up is really happening. We're from the 8th, we're on the 9. Completion, like ending is almost there. The ending is almost there. We're completing this cycle, but it's not completely ended. It hasn't ended yet, right? We're completing it. There's a sense of intensity. The build up is really almost like reaching its peak. And the Nine of Wands, there's a real sense of boundaries, setting up boundaries. Okay, we've done the fight. We did everything we were supposed to do. We've delivered the messages. We've gone through the whole journey. Battle is over. Now we have to protect our turf. We have to protect what we just fought for, what we just gained, whatever gain that you just acquired. So especially if there are other people in your life that do not understand that departure, that need for you to go, or that doesn't understand, or if it's that fire sign you're dealing with, that setting up their own boundary for you, Gemini, that are saying like, okay, this is how I didn't appreciate the way you treated me. Now I'm gonna set up my boundary. I'm gonna go towards my new beginning, because this right here you offered me here, there's nothing in those cups. There's nothing in there that didn't do it for me. It wasn't working. It wasn't worth my time. It just I'm gone. So now they're really setting up their boundaries, and they're not just setting up boundaries, Gemini. They also have backup. They're also like also protected. Okay, they have like whether it's family, friends, someone else have their back. You're not gonna be able to, if in the past you were able to just go and do, you know them very well. Obviously, you've gone through this whole journey together. If you were able to just break down those boundaries, you knew how to get to them. Now they have backup. There's another level of strength here. They're still wearing the scars. Okay, so if you're trying to approach that person again, approach them with you're gonna have to you really bring your full Gemini aspect, your intuition, because that kind of swords here, yes, that's a messenger. If you want to send a message to that person, or that person is sending a message for you, approach it not just from an emotional point of view. You really have to stand strong in your full power, using your intellect. Okay, using your intellect and all you have, your whole might. Like, use that throne, not so much to intimidate, but to show everything that you have to show. Okay, Gemini. Excuse me. And most of all, before you get to that king, on a whole different platform sits is the sword. The sword is planted inside the crown. Most of all, before you even deliver that message, make sure you're very clear. Have your sword of truth and clarity. Like, planted, grounded, okay? Planted into the ground, so you can be clear and grounded in your truth, in the truth of the situation. Whether it's you or it's that person, some real sense of clarity and truth needs to happen here, okay? Before these boundaries before you can step into that person's boundary, or that person can come closer to you, okay? Before we can break down that barrier there. Because there was a departure, and if there's a reconciliation that needs to happen, some truth needs to be spoken. Some new rules, some new parameters needs to be installed here as to what is going on. Before you can get close to me, and if this is you, Gemini, that happened to, you need to step to the truth, to my sword of truth, to my sword of clarity, before you can even get to me. And intuitively, you both will understand what is going on here, okay? And the next card we have was the seven of swords. And this card is a card of, like, for me, it's not always lies and deceit. Sometimes I see it as a sense of mischievousness in that card that's smirking on his face. Now, what he's taking with him is the five of swords. He's only carrying 5 swords, okay? And he's carrying them array of almost like the 5 of swords is the card of conflict, right? Sometimes it's mental conflict, but it's really like a true battle, okay? So of perhaps differing of opinions, but it's really the card of like a fight and just disagreements and all of that. It's just like nothing good, nothing you wanna have in a relationship. So he's carrying away all this trouble, all that conflict away, smirking, perhaps thinking like he's gonna get away, causing all that conflict. Okay, going like, yeah, I'm just gonna sneak away with that. That never happened, kind of a thing. Leaving behind the 2 of swords, and we know the 2 of swords is the moon in Libra card, and we have a moon in Libra coming. So what he doesn't notice, though, there's a noose on the ground. There's a noose on the ground. He's stepping straight into the noose. So if it's you or someone who's trying to pull one over you, and that's the message I'm getting here, just understand that they're not gonna get away with it. Like, there's a real sense here, Gemini. This is what I'm getting. There's a real sense here that everyone in this situation needs to come clean and clear. Like, everyone needs to, there's not going to be no sneaking around with the truth here. There's not going to be, it's not going to work, okay? That's not going to work. You know this thing people do, even if it's a work situation, okay? Like, when there was conflict, something happened, there was like, a big disagreement, and some people are passive-aggressive about it, and they're just like, okay, we're just going to act like this never happened, 5 of swords out of the way, and then just smiling at your face, looking back and, and smiling and be like, so how you doing today? this is not going to work this time. If this is a love situation, the same applies. If you're neglecting someone, if you're leaving someone dissatisfied and they decided to set up boundaries and leave, you're gonna really have to come out clear. And if someone was doing it for you, same. Because I'm saying you, because I'm really getting that energy here of you, Gemini, because the first card was a Page of Wands. It was the Page of Wands that was leaving. So, and here that guy is wearing red again, saying fire energy. And you have that Ace of Wands, fire energy. So I feel like it's really like that fire energy that's leaving behind the trouble. And that's the message I'm getting, okay? So if in that Seven of Swords, again, this is basically you carrying away your 5 swords and leaving the 2 and then smiling behind. That's not going to happen, okay? You're gonna have to, because there is that news here you don't see is that person has set up their boundaries. They have also set up some trap for anyone who's gonna, before you get to them, they've set up some traps. You're going to fall into that. They're gonna pull that news and get you, okay, before you even get to that gate there, that barrier that they formed. So don't even try it. If it's you who think you're going to okie doke your way out of this, don't try it. And if someone is gonna think they're gonna try that with you, if it's reversed, it's not gonna work either. Because remember, I said what needs to happen, just like that sword is planted into the ground, to be grounded in your truth, is like whatever new beginning that needs to happen, it needs to be really grounded. It needs to be really authentic. It needs to really be solid. No matter how slow it is, it needs to be like the real thing, okay? It needs to be the real thing. And I like the way that horse, like his head is down with a sense of humility too, okay? That smirkiness, it's not going to work. There needs to be a real sense of humility that comes with it. I feel like I don't really even need a clarification, but I will take wonder on that seven of swords, because I feel like it might be a different story for some of you out there, Gemini. But that's the message I'm channeling right now, not just with the cards. I got that. I get that. That's a message that's flowing through me. And Spirit, what else can you tell us about that Seven of Swords for Gemini? Seven of Swords for Gemini. Here we go. And we have the Eight of Wands. Okay, Eight of Wands is communication, fast-moving action. At the bottom here, we have that Five of Cups. So there was some kind of message that was not going through. Okay, Gemini, there was some kind of communication that was not going through. And perhaps the Eight of Wands is also a card of distance. Perhaps it was through that distance that new level of understanding come through. Look at this guy. He's trying to be a gymnast. That's an interesting Eight of Wands, isn't it? Like the ones are going in different directions, kind of a thing. So it's almost like he's doing some kind of gymnastic move to go through the wands, right? It's like one of those. And yeah, this is like traveling to this looks almost like the desert here, but it's almost like the ones are pushing, propelling him forward. And look at the zzz at the end, like almost like a lightning speed, right? You see the Z at the end of those ones. It's like lightning speed that he's going here. But the issue here, Gemini, has to do with communication. If it is some kind of communication that needs to happen, it really needs to be. Try not to be too rush about it, okay? Try not to be too rushed. Really try to find to be grounded in what you're saying and be clear and concise in what you want to say and how you wanna not be perceived. And it's the same for the other person, because it seems like things are gonna be moving very fast. Once you realize what has happened here, once you realize, or that person realized there was nothing here and there was a departure and Gemini is gone, or that fire sign that you're dealing with is gone, and they set up boundaries, and someone's gonna want to communicate, someone's gonna want to solve that situation. And I'm really getting the sense that there needs to be a pause before you start firing away, or that person start firing away towards you, because we don't want that okie dokie. We don't want to sweep it under the rugs here, because it's not going to work. We really need a sense of groundedness. That's what's going to really make that change from troubled water, because that's what we have at the bottom of the deck, the Six of Swords, okay? To move from troubled water into calmer sea, to move from that conflict, Okay, that's what's facing you. That's what you're trying to do, to move away from conflict or from anything that no longer serves you, to move to something that's better. And at the bottom of, I pulled that 7 of cups to I pulled that 6 of cups to show you. At the bottom was facing me the 2 of cups. I pulled this, what's facing you, the Ace of Pentacles. Grounded offer, new offer of life, but it's something that's very meaningful. It's not just emotional, okay? But it seems like once you've gone through that, once you've left those troubles behind, once you remove the obstacles that were in the way, once you've left any lies, deceit, any kind of sense of egotistical, that's another thing I always get with that 7 of Swords, the sense of ego here. Like, I can pull one over you. Ha ha ha. Look at me go. You didn't see it. This didn't happen. Like, no. Once everyone has brought their truth, their clarity into the situation, and you've removed those obstacles, you're able to really communicate, because the 8 of Wands is also a card of communication. To really communicate, you'll be able to move away from this troubled water. Okay, you really will be able to move from the troubled water. And that 6 from conflict as well. In that 6 of Wands, I like that he's 6 of I'm so sorry. I keep saying 6 of Wands was victory, and I will say 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups, that's reunion, right? Reconciliation. But what we're facing here is a 6 of air, 6 of Swords. So for some of you, it's gonna be a reunion once you've left all that silliness behind. So that's gonna bring victory, of course. But that 6 of Swords here, he's carrying 4 of the Swords. 4 of Swords is the card of, I always see it, of peace, okay, of rest, of finding your mental stability. So this is what you're gonna take with you of that boat. Once you leave all of that, you're taking with you your family, you've crossed the land. I see that I told you there was distance here. There's gonna maybe some travel happening with here as well for some of you. And that's what I sense with that, from that first card that jumped out, that Page of Wands. Some of you maybe have to travel, okay, to make this happen, but it will really bring you a victory and perhaps reconciliation, and it's gonna be like a beautiful union. That cup is going to be accepted, because here in that 2 of Cups, that's underneath the people they're embracing, right? It's no longer just offering the cups, you know, extending the cups. The cups actually they're embracing. So that says like, yes, we've accepted the cup, and we are joining together. They're actually touching bodies, okay? So this is the message for you, Gemini, for the second half of April. And I will pull this is the Whispers of Love Oracle deck for those of you to get an extra layer on that love message. This was a love message for you, Gemini. This is a pure love message, okay? This one didn't want it to come out. Ask for help. Oh, and look at this at the bottom of the deck. Slow down. Pause and allow things to unfold. Yes. Do not rush this, Gemini. And I know you have the 8 of Wands here, but that 8 of Wands is almost like it's almost like a warning sign. Not like go, 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 go. Look at him, the way he's literally about to hurt himself trying to go to at lightning speed. No, ground yourself. That's the message here. Like, really slow down. Whatever it is that you're about to, whatever path it is you're setting on, that whatever trouble you're moving away from or dissatisfaction you're moving away from, there's a real sense of you really need to find your groundedness, and don't try to be shrewd or to be manipulative about it either. Be grounded about it, and bring your truth and real authenticity into the situation. That's the only thing that's gonna solve this, okay? Whether it's you or that person, that's the only way it's going to work moving forward. But the card that actually came out for you here is ask for help. What do you really need? Be willing to accept support. And here, look at this. That gentleman here looks almost like a sage. Ask for help. Ask for help from the elders in your life. Ask for help from whether it's professionals that you know that can help you with whatever situation, if it's a work situation or a romantic situation. But pray on it, you know. Ask your ancestors, family members that have crossed over. Ask for help. If you don't know what's the best approach to take to solve this situation here, to make things right, to break down these barriers, to remove those obstacles, so you can come into this beautiful union that's waiting for you. Ask for help, Gemini. And I feel like help is already there waiting, you know, like the help is there. You just have to basically ask for help. And sometimes it's the person that you're dealing with. Sometimes you need to ask for help too, okay? Don't ever overlook that, especially in a love situation. They know you. They're probably the people that know you the best. They know the good sides, the bad sides, and everything. Sometimes it's okay to be like, to ask the person you're with, tell me, how do I fix this? How do I fix the situation between us? What do you think we need to do? What, you know, how do we proceed forward? It's okay sometimes to ask, because they're the one. Yeah, sometimes it's better to ask someone that's away from the situation. They may be able to see it from a different angle, but a lot of times the person that's right there for you, they know the situation in and out as well. So sometimes it may also mean you need to talk it out. And this is the sacred geometry. Trying to keep this short, under 30 minutes. They've been going long lately. Let's see, Spirit, what additional message you have for Gemini? Too much. Oh, there we go. And we have Earth Greed. And this is number 59. And I read those from the book, okay, guys? To give you the direct message. Fellowship. By pulling this card, you are asked to look at the way energy moves and to observe the choice points in your life that amplify or diminish your energy. What do you feel brings you to your fullest potential, and where does this happen? As you act in fellowship with humankind, community is created. There are places you will feel comfortable and those that seem to sap your power. As you choose a home on the planet and in the community in which you wish to participate, you activate your place on the earth grid and find resonance with the spirit of place. Fellowship with like-minded individuals can be seen as a communication grid that connects you by travel or by technology to exactly what you need to learn and experience at this moment in time. Oh my goodness, beautiful. Gemini, did you hear that? What do you feel brings you to your fullest potential, and where does this happen? And Gemini, I don't even have to tell you. I feel like that's a question you're asking yourself, right? That's you've asked yourself that question and answered it, and that's why you're walking away from something. Right? From something perhaps on the outside to other people may seem like should be fulfilling, may seem like it's all of that, but you're walking away. Or perhaps you realize you need to walk away because it doesn't work for you anymore. Or perhaps it's someone in your life that has done that and that has inspired you to look at yourself, at the decisions you've made. What saps your energy? What motivates you? What inspires you? It even goes into, and we have travel cards here, okay? We have the 8 of Wands here. And it may be you need to move away from that energy here of deceit, of lying to yourself, okay? From that mental gymnastic that you are doing. Because the 8 of Wands is communication, but the 8 of Wands is also a card of travel, okay? And we have that page of Wands that jumped out, that's setting in the journey. We have that 8 of Cups that is like leaving behind something. This is the 6 of Swords. Again, leaving behind something. This 6 of Cups tells us you've already left that thing behind. Now you are stepping out of the ship. So what I'm getting here, Gemini, during this time, you have made that decision. You have come to that understanding that the Earth grid, this whole planet, is yours, and you have to stay in connection with your community, with your men. I don't want to say like humankind, but really with the fellowship, meaning like those people that are like-minded as you, or the people that bring you that inspiration, right? Like it says, like in the community in which you wish to participate, you activate your place on the earth grid and find resonate with the spirit of place, There's a real sense here. Some of you have been in a place that really doesn't do it for you, that the environment itself no longer does it for you, and you've understood that, and you're gonna walk away from it. And someone in your life have done that, and then that's gonna be that inspiration you needed to walk away. Okay, and I hope this reading resonates with you, Gemini, and please enjoy the rest of the month. Come back again at the beginning of March for the next set of at the beginning of May. I'm going backwards. At the beginning of May for the next set of reading. Thank you for your continued support. Bye. Remember, love is the only answer. Have fun in this journey, Gemini. You've got this.